Mike's going to talk about why Activision Blizzard still sucks on today's Not So Critical update.
To be fair,
They
did an internal investigation and found themselves to have done nothing wrong. So I don't even understand the intro, John. They take the allegations very seriously. They take the settlements that they had to pay in court extremely seriously. The repeated, ongoing series of news articles outlining all the things that they've done. They're taking these things all very seriously and have determined that they did nothing wrong. The board of directors working group investigating the company has released its findings, led by a 25-year veteran of the Call of Duty publisher. The group concluded there was never any systemic issue with harassment, discrimination, or retaliation. So what are we even talking about? What's the problem?
It's very interesting. Well, it seems like the show was over, and I think we're just going to close down.
Right.
Clearly,
we're talking about harassment. We talk about harassment.
I'm really glad. I'm glad. I'm really happy that the thorough investigation has taken place, and it reaffirms the commitment that they have to non-discriminatory practices and
like they told the SEC, and the SEC filings are where you can't lie, right? Like this is where they can say whatever they want to the press, but in the SEC filings is where they have to like really get down to the truth.
Everyone knows you don't lie when you're under oath to the SEC. Everyone knows that you don't lie.
That's where you get in real trouble. While there are some substantiated instances of gender harassment, those unfortunate circumstances do not support the conclusion that Activision senior leadership or the board were aware of or tolerated gender harassment, or that there was ever a systemic issue with harassment, discrimination, or retaliation. Yes, we had a repeated series of ongoing incidents, all of which have been substantiated, but that doesn't establish a pattern.
No. It's not systemic. It's just, there was elements of the system which were, repeatedly breaching employee rights, but it wasn't systemic.
Right.
It was obvious that it was very random, these repetitions of the same thing over and over again. It was very random. There was no real tempo here, right? It wasn't like on Friday we harassed Karen.
No.
Right. And when he threatened to have his female assistant killed in 2006, or when he interfered to prevent the head of the co-head of the Call of Duty studio.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Everyone has bad days, okay? I mean,
it was hyperbolic language.
I've been there.
We're human.
He was appropriately disciplined. Yeah. It's fine.
Appropriately disciplined. That's a good one. I think it's very important, especially nowadays, to appropriately discipline and have a stern talking to, really
people who have alleged sexual harassment allegations against them.
I think the real victims here are the board. I mean, if we look at the amount of negative press that they've had, unjustified, as this thorough investigation has shown.
It's a lot of thoughts and prayers to the board.
To that kind of harassment themselves must be challenging, to say the least. I mean, they earn their money. That's what I can say.
Hard to maintain this level of sarcasm. Which I never thought I'd say. Maybe 4 minutes is kind of the upper limit of what I can tolerate.
Did the thoughts and prayers push you over the edge? For the multi-millionaire board member, poor board members who reelected Bobby.
So bad. What is wrong with these people?
That's the follow-up, right? That's the follow-up that the good old Bobster.
What's it? Bobby Kotick? Is that his last name?
Kotick, right? Bob Kotick. Bobby Kotick has been re-elected. I think we have that story.
We did. Re-elected to the board for another year.
But after that thorough cover-up, investigation, everything has been, good job. Way to go,
this is
Bobby.
No surprise. I mean, John didn't mention, I think this is actually a not so critical update. Because we talked about some of the original allegations in the New York Times report. We talked about the lawsuits that had been settled and were being filed at the time. We talked about this story where the board reaffirmed that they stood behind their guy. And here we go. They found themselves clear of all wrongdoing and reelected Bobby to the board for another year. Case closed. Let's stop hearing about it. There will be no more updates.
In the ongoing Microsoft acquisition, so part of Bobby's contract is that he has to be bought out. If he's let go, he has to be paid some absurd amount of money. I think it was $500 million, and that should just be part of the bill, right? When you take over this company, like there's no way that you can also include pretty much the head honcho here who let this happen under his watch. We'll see how that plays out, but I have a feeling that they're just gonna they're gonna say it's a risk worth taking to keep Bobby on, and instead of paying him out all his shares or whatever, I forget exactly what the wording is for how he gets his $500 million, but it's a lot of money. And it sucks. It sucks that this is, of all industries, it's the video game industry that this seems to be so common in. Every single big video game company has something like this. Like Riot Games just got investigated by California, I'm pretty sure, because there's so many employees calling out C-level executives for farting in their face when they walked past their desk is one example. Like absurd things. Yeah.
There's another classic one from years ago. They had this whole the same kind of thing as with Blizzard, or ABK rather. Activision Blizzard King. Everybody forgets the King there.
I didn't even know there was a King.
Let's not forget about Farmville. King.com. It's the mobile, Farmville, right? People. Yeah. That's
it's tough. It's really tough.
I just want a job where I can be contractually guaranteed $500 million for getting fired.
Yeah. Is that all is that all? Like I feel like it's really not a lot to ask, right? Like
I know.
But also, Mike, don't forget, not only is it like contractual, but also it's okay if you just let some of the middle managers, grab a cheek or
sure.
corner someone in the bathroom and say, "Do you want to go on a date with me? If not, you're fired." Like it's totally okay. Like this is very industry standard stuff.
I don't want to slip down into that sarcasm pit again because it's no. It's so easy. It's kind of like a defense mechanism.
It is a defense mechanism. I don't know how to deal with this absurdity. Like,
it's so absurd. It's
like it's crazy.
Hollywood levels of not Hollywood. Like how they behave in Hollywood, although it probably is similar. But like movie levels of bullshit.
It's fiction.
The kind of
it's crazy
caricatures that you see in actual movies. Have you guys seen that Apple TV series? What is it? The Morning Show.
No.
Yeah.
But I heard it's really good.
It is. It's very good.
It's all about somebody getting fired for sexual abuse.
Jennifer from Friends.
Jennifer.
What's her name?
Jennifer Aniston.
Aniston.
It is okay. It is.
Yep,
anyway, it's pretty good. But like this whole sort of, this is way worse. And that's a TV show. So what's going on, guys? What's going on? Reality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like a weird.
All right. Well,
so
anyway.
like if you have a New York Times article written outlining your problems once, that's not a pattern, right? But when you get a second and a third article, then maybe it's a little more systemic. When you have your first lawsuit for multiple instances of sexual harassment, like that's not a pattern. But by the time you're settling your second or third lawsuit, you maybe got to think there's something going on.
Well, the whole thing started off with the DEI in California. Was it California? I think it was. This was the result of a 2-year investigation. I mean, it wasn't just something that they just pulled out their ass. It was
this is a multi-year thing that's been occurring over and over again with zero. Because also, Bobby's sitting up there in his tower, and he's saying, "If I give this attention, I
think he's not. I don't think he's in it. I would suggest that he is in some sort of basement level suite." Perhaps surrounded by some of his favorite toys.
That's funny but also not here to speculate on, if Bobby is a BDSM guy or not. Really, what I'm trying to get to is when C-level executives, when these guys validate or recognize that something is wrong, they inadvertently make it real, right? Because if I keep lying to myself and to everyone publicly and saying this isn't happening, no, that's all false, these are false allegations, look at this big firm we hired to do an internal investigation, and they're all saying it's false, like as long as you keep repeating that, it's not really real, at least not to you, right? And I think that's a big thing here, is they're not recognizing that there's a pattern. It's systematic and something needs to be fixed. Why would they? It's bad for the shares. It's bad for the shareholders. It's bad for the board.
Yeah, this is clearly utter bullshit.
Yeah,
it's a complete sham, and they haven't done any real investigation. They've just done exactly what they need to do to be able to keep the share price from dipping again. Fuck Blizzard.